this ain't no flex. Just make sure you tune to the RPX. Stay dropping jewels all on the airwaves. Keep sitting hunting like every single day. This ain't no shade, this ain't no flex. Just make sure you tune to the RPX. Stay dropping jewels all on the airwaves. Keep sitting hunting like every single day. RPX. Yeah, just the RPX where you can sit back and catch a vibe at. But your mind gotta be open like a surgeon with a scalpel. Mixed with the tips that can help with the mental, also the spiritual, and even the physical. The way she break it down, you don't need a visual. Always keep it fair and also critical. Everything is clear, ain't no need for subliminals. Growth is essential. The love is not rental. You might be perplexed, but it's so simple. If you wanna know how you can interact, just hit the IG or the Glock or where it at. So come get involved. It don't even cost. Just hit the DM if you need to talk. So all my good people out there, stay blessed and make sure you tune in to the RPX. This ain't no shade, this ain't no flex. Just make sure you tune to the RPX. Stay dropping jewels all on the airways. Keep sitting hunting like every single day. This ain't no shade, this ain't no flex. Just make sure you tune to the RPX. Stay dropping jewels all on the airwaves. Keep sitting hunting like every single day. RPX.
Baby. I'm in here a little bit. I can't hear myself. Super Wait, can we turn me up? All right, I'm in here. You are tuned into another episode of the X Radio, where you can find us Thursday nights at 6 p.m. here on Glockaware. If you also are new to the show, never tuned in before, I am your host, Rosie Porter. You can find me on all platforms, the RPX, THERPX. You can go to you can Google that, or you can go to my website, rosieporter.com. I do some personal coaching, life coaching, as well as financial advising. You know, we can talk about different opportunities for you to be creative and make some money. So we can talk about those things too. If you're interested in having a conversation with me, go to my website and click book me.
Yeah.
So anyway, you know what? It's October, which flew by like crazy.
Yeah.
And first and foremost, you know, gosh, my brain is on stupid right now. It's okay. The intro, you know, H-Man, my homie H, his birthday was Monday. So happy belated to H. And of course, you know, I asked Mar to come in. It's been a while. We're going to catch up. Mar is from Expressive Illustrations, and you can check her out at Expressive Illustration. She has some events coming up, so we'll talk about those. But yeah, Mar, it's been a while.
Yeah.
I missed you.
Oh,
she had a birthday as well, so happy belated.
Thank you. Shout out to Age, you know.
Yeah. Yep. Everybody's turning 30.
Hey, he turned 30.
He turned 30 as well.
That.
Yeah, y'all 30 years old. 30s.
It's how you said it, y'all.
No, because you know what, for you
it's
guys,
a great milestone.
It is a milestone. However, you know, it's just so you guys are like, oh my God, I'm 30.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, if I could only be 30 again, you know, I can't go backwards.
I was saying like, oh my God, as in like, I started to change my whole everything.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, wait, 10 decades? Okay, I gotta be more responsible. I need to cut off people. I need to, you know, my whole, like, I care about myself way too much now, like, to a different extent, you know, not too much.
Yeah, but that's good. That's
yes,
good, positive growth. And, you know, I'm even doing that in my 40s. Right. You know, you should be growing at all times making better decisions for yourself. You know, sometimes we get stuck in that parking lot we've talked about before, where you just become complacent and you're doing things that just don't make sense anymore. And you have to grow up and say, hey, this isn't for me.
Right.
Which is a great segue, because we were going to briefly talk about grief. You know, grief comes in all different forms. Mar had an experience she's going to share with us. And most people associate it with death.
Yeah.
However, you know, grief comes in other ways with that growth, with that personal growth. Sometimes we have to make hard decisions that, you know, it's like a what do they say? A mind over heart decision.
Yeah.
You know, you may have like an attachment or a lot of love for somebody or something. And you're just like, although I have that, this circumstance is not right for me right now.
Right.
And so you have to let it go so you can grow.
Yeah.
And that does incur some grief sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, the process of letting go and coping with that. You
Yeah.
know, that's the thing. And it's funny that you say that because
Oh, it's not funny.
well, one of the synchronicities was that day I had posted a reel about happiness, gaining happiness. And I in the reel about gaining happiness, it was about the power of relationships and how I was listing how you can keep good relationships, but the last thing I said was you got to let go. You got to, like, anything that doesn't serve you, anything that's not good for you, or anything that's
And sometimes
literally
just the dynamic has to
Oof,
change. You don't necessarily
yeah.
have to lose that person or thing, but
Right.
the importance or the dynamic between you and that situation has to change.
Yeah. So, you said catching up.
Yeah, girl. It's been a while. It's been months since I've seen you, baby girl.
And you know, months really means decades.
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
And grief, I feel like I've cause yeah, I've been dealing with for months in so many different ways, and that's what brought me so much peace is learning how to deal with grief, how to not master but kind of be like, okay,
you have to be one with it for a minute, you know, sit in it and really absorb it, and then process it.
All of
it's
that.
like a good meal. You got to eat it, you got to taste it, you got to process it, and then when you're done, you get rid of the shit.
Right.
So it's the same idea, you know. You got to get rid of the waste, the stuff that doesn't serve you, your body can't process, your mind can't process. You got to get rid of it.
Yeah. I feel like so, and then especially you know, us talking about it now, it's the I think, I don't know if, I guess other people are feeling it too, just the community is going berserk right now, and it's just a lot of things happening where more than normal amounts, I feel, are just more heightened amounts are feeling grief of death of self, you know, or grief of literally they're losing loved ones. You know, it's been coming up a lot, and me being a healer walking in the streets, literally strangers will come up and tell me their story. We're on a bus and they're like,
I know,
so
they love to tell you what's going on with
Like,
them,
wow.
or what's happening, or who offended them, or how it came about, and you're just like, I just wanted to take this bus downtown to go where I was going.
You had to walk through all these other people, and then you got to come to me. No.
That's how it goes, though.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. But you never know. You know, that's one reason you have to protect yourself. And you know, you can be a passive listener because maybe they just need that ear. But on the same note, you know, yeah, that's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I definitely learned, you know, in the line of work. So, I didn't even mention, for those who don't know me, yes, I'm Mara with Expressive Illustrations, which is a nonprofit that has to do with improving everybody's mental health through all forms of expression. I like to say we like to heal nations and improve vibrations through higher consciousness education. So through inner child work and therapy and mental wellness. But yes, that a part of doing that is healing everywhere I go, right? But one of the things, sorry, to go back to what you were saying.
It's okay.
Because it's I feel like
it was necessary.
Okay.
I'm glad you reintroduced yourself for those. And I'm going to take the moment as well. If you are listening and you want to tune in and check us out, we are live on YouTube. So go ahead to YouTube, type in Glockaware, and hit the live link so you can check us out.
Please tune in. So the saying, one of the being a healer, one of the things that I learned how to do was not to internalize things. I can be compassionate, I can be empathetic, I can even,
but you gotta leave it right there.
Yes.
Like wherever that person stopped talking to you at, you gotta walk away from it and leave that shit right there on the bus.
I had the craziest story
and let it go.
This lady followed us into, she like invited herself out to the bar with us from meeting us on a bus because she was going through something. Then she like came back on the bus with us, like, and she lived in a whole different part of Philly.
But she followed you guys to where you were going.
Pretty much.
Wow.
So, and
you're like,
she
ma'am,
was like,
it's been really good, but I gotta leave you here at 7-Eleven because
she was basically like, she was in a toxic situation, and her boyfriend wasn't picking up the phone, and she was depending on him to come pick her up wherever she was, and it wasn't happening. So I had to be like, listen, this is not my burden.
Right.
You know, like, as much as I hope you're okay, I'm on leave it in God's hands.
Right.
And whatever you're dealing with, you do.
Hard, right? especially because you want to.
Sometimes. But
No, sometimes it is. Especially when you care for the person, it's hard because it's like you want to help them become great because you see their greatness.
Right.
But either they have lack of motivation or resources, or they're just not in that space of abundance right now. So they have to cultivate that. And it's hard to be able to leave those people or situations because you want to make their problem your problem.
Yeah, I can do it all. I got this.
Yeah, but we can't.
No.
Oh my God, we
trust.
can't.
You gotta trust the process, and you gotta literally, like put yourself first and put your boundaries up, and understand that it's always gonna work out, even if they're going. I know it's a I got stories for days, but a really short story of
like, okay, story time.
A guy who had a friend who was literally about to like get into maybe devil worshiping, the worst thing, right? And you know that's not good for your friend, right? And you feel like you can help them out of it, but they're not listening.
Yeah,
you cannot be that savior. You might have to let them do what they gotta do and just trust that they're gonna be okay and they're gonna come back. And guess what? He followed and he was fine.
Good for him. But good for him because there's people out here you can lead those horses to water, but baby girl, they do not drink. They stay parched.
It can't be on you.
Yeah, they stay parched, but that's not your problem. It's not my problem. It's not any. To each own. Each one they carry their own burdens.
Yeah,
But
grief meaning like breakups. Breakups are literally how you process a breakup is how you process grief. A lot of times you have to literally.
That's probably the most common form.
Yeah. Breakups, losing jobs that you then gave your life to.
Yeah.
So it comes in. I just wanted to bring that up because it comes in different forms. We're just not talking about somebody who passed away.
Yeah.
Just like
different forms for sure. Disappointment and it can come in just the form of disappointment.
Yeah.
Because now it's like you're grieving, and this is dangerous, folks, because a lot of times we fall in love with the potential of a situation, right? Whether that be an idea or a person or a lifestyle. And when it's like you can't make that happen, now you fall into that depression because you were really convinced or in love with the idea so much that now you let yourself down because you're not in it. You're not in that fantasy of what you wanted it to be like.
Yes, expectations, realizations.
Right. And then now you have that grief like, oh man, I'm disappointed. This is terrible. This is a bummer. This isn't quite what I wanted.
Yeah. Wow. And it's like so much to it. It's so much because I started thinking about I'm like, yeah, it is disappointment and expectations.
But it's mindset, right?
It is.
At the end of the day, we can take those same experiences, be grateful for them, be thankful for them, appreciate each one, and walk away and say, it's okay because I gave it my best and right now is not the time.
The right now is not the time has helped me through so much. Like it will happen when it's time to happen. Or
that was a hard one for me when I was your age.
Really? Really? Yes.
All through my 20s and 30s, for real, I had a hard time because when I was in my early 20s, I felt I had it all together. I had a good job. I had a house. I had new cars. I had a husband. I thought I had it all together, but I wasn't happy.
Yep.
So all those material things don't make you happy. Yeah. I realized at that point, and then I started searching. And it was a crazy journey. And at the end of the day, you spend a lot of time like correcting yourself or getting out of situations you convinced yourself that you can make better.
Yeah.
That's that for me. I had to learn that one. You know what I mean? Like, be like, okay, exit strategy sooner. It's gonna hurt ripping the Band-Aid off either way. So exit strategy immediately.
Yeah. I think like it's such a I kind of have like, so I feel like my level of peace is like way different than before. And I'm kind of like trying to piece together, like, how did it become about, you know, because we're talking about this and I had to go through so many things of this to realize that, to find this level of peace.
Now, when you say of this, you mean like what? Instances of grief?
Yeah,
Disappointment?
so yeah,
Change?
that's what I'm saying. It's so much that I went through to find this level of peace, like to the point where I told you I literally got news about a death, but my peace getting the news about a death was unimaginable, as opposed to the old me that would have been crying and like, oh my
Right.
God, and depressed for a week.
Emotionally out of
Yeah,
control.
right. But now,
Ah, yes. I'm glad you had a positive experience and you used your techniques to get through it in a positive
yeah,
way.
because I feel like the biggest thing I've been learning, the two lessons I've been learning recently is detachment, the power of detachment, and surrendering, the power of surrendering.
Just let it happen,
Yeah,
girl.
because it all has to do with trusting and just allowing things to happen how they're going to happen, being grateful for that they did happen, even if it's some absurd thing. Like, let's say I'm walking down the street and somebody like bumps me and now a fight breaks out in front of me. Now, I'm not going to be like, thank you for the fight. No. But thank you that...
She's going to be like, how did we get here?
Right.
It wasn't. I don't. That was me earlier. Like, I don't know how we got here, and I'm sorry, and I didn't mean it, and I didn't even do it. Like,
Right.
It wasn't.
So there's
oh my
that side,
God.
but there's also the side. Wait, I can control. I'm proud of myself for not pushing the girl back after she pushed me. Right. I have nothing to do with the fight, so I have the power to walk away.
Right,
Hallelujah.
exactly.
You know. So
Yeah,
just
the
looking at a
power.
situation of like gratitude and how do I keep my peace? How do I keep my energy intact without getting delved into why this, why that, expectation, why the fuck would they be fighting? You know, like that don't concern none of me.
And you're not going to get the answers you want anyway. You're not going to understand why that happened or why the person did that or why. And even if you do, they give you an answer, you're still going to be like, well, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yep.
So
Period.
why even go down that rabbit hole, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and then when I say the power of the detachment, is like literally, so detachment, for those who don't know, detachment is basically nothing can attach to you, right? So you're separating yourself from the thought of things, from the physical of things. So basically addictions don't prosper, right? You don't overthink as much because you're like, okay, once you start to master detachment, everything flows how it flows, and you acceptance is the biggest part of detachment. But yeah, so I started to work on just like, okay, this person isn't in my life anymore. It's okay. Like, if they come back, that's great. If they don't, I'm still gonna survive. Look at me, you know. Not saying I don't feel feelings. I still feel the processing feelings of letting them go or not letting them go or whatever. But it's just like, once you master that everything is working out for its higher good, it's detachment becomes like, oh, okay.
That's part of learning in the lessons of life. You know, you got to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
So you have to learn these lessons and relinquish control. You have to, actually
relinquish.
Yeah, I know. It's easier said than done.
Yeah.
And a lot of people attach emotions and feelings to things.
Yeah.
First and
Energy,
foremost,
emotion. Yeah.
Emotions and feelings are two different things. I know people have a hard time with that one, but okay. We'll discuss that a whole nother time. But yeah, when you remove emotion from things and just look at things from
a logical
sense. There's men out here that are emotional, and that's okay. I'm not, I like emotions. I do, but they have their place as well. You know, you can't become consumed because now that's unhealthy.
Yeah.
It can take you to a lot of crazy places.
So
story
grief.
time.
Not you know when the story is coming. So grief, right? Going back to grief. One day, what happened? Okay, I went to New Orleans. Before I went to New Orleans, I was starting the detachment process. I was letting go of somebody who was in my life a long time, and I was just like, I need to learn to live without them, like 110%.
Right.
Came back after I did plant medicine. which kind of elevates the process. Didn't really have time to like sit in the plant medicines process because I was vacationing, having my best life. Like, why would I be crying right now? I'm dancing my life away. So yeah. So anyway, came back and started to let the everything come. Right. I'm meditating. I literally
You're
was like,
allowing the process.
I'm allowing
to
the process. So
Yeah.
you know what I had to do?
Because when you're on vacation, you probably just.
Oh no, yeah, I
you
don't have
you
time.
pushed it. Yeah,
Then I was with people.
Yeah.
No.
She's like, I'm living my best life. I'm gonna suppress all this bullshit, and it's gonna hit me like a Mack truck later.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Pretty much. So came home, started to feel, but I gave myself time to feel. But it was to the point where I just I thought my friend gave me some bad advice, but actually it was kind of what I needed. But what I did was she was like,
some
yeah,
tough love.
Well, she was like, just cry and just sit with your thoughts. And I'm like, girl, I am a mental health advocate. I don't sit with my thoughts more than 2 days tops. Then we're moving on. Like, we is not anything more than that. They're going to go crazy. I'm going to be depressed. Then we're going to be like, who's going to heal the world now? So
right.
She tells me that. And I'm like, this is not the best advice. But I listened to her because I'm like, it's somehow the universe made sure I had off from work. So those 2 days, whatever.
It all seemed to work out.
So I cried and I cried and I let my mind go rampant.
You went cuckoo with it?
Like, literally, whatever fears,
You
just let them, and this, and then I was abused, and like, bringing it back to all the shadow work, just letting it go.
You acknowledged it. Yes.
But let me tell you, when I got past, like, because I did need help to get past.
I believe
I was
okay.
Yes, my one friend had to do a visualization exercise with me, and then my other friend had to show up to my house and kind of be like, girl, you literally... here's who you are. Remember, you know, I did need that support at that time.
See, friends are awesome.
They are the right ones.
That's who we're talking about.
But I sat with it, and afterwards, it took me a little time to get back into social things. But I literally. My mind couldn't even go there anymore because I sat with all those thoughts and I let my body and I released it and I sat and I cried for days. I mean, I'm going to work. Right. I'm not crying. I'm coming home. I'm crying as soon as I'm walking into the door. You know, just letting whatever.
I've been there.
Flow and go. And then that was one of the first times I really felt peace. After that, because now I'm catching my thoughts when they start to go there.
Yeah, you're no, we're not doing that, Mar. We're not doing that one, Mar. What do you call yourself? Do you call yourself Mar?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
we're not doing that, Mar.
Yes. I'm trying to do Mars, but it's like, Mars. I'm out of this world.
Yeah, no, well, listen, that's some crazy energy. I don't know if you want to put that on yourself.
I know. That's why I'm like, I don't know. We'll see. Right now, Mars still feels at home.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you know what? It's healthy. A lot of people don't allow themselves that time to have the grieving process. However you do it, because everybody's process is different, and maybe some people haven't tried the traditional. There's a lot of people that don't believe in crying.
Right.
That's a kind of a hard one.
Are those people talking it out?
I don't know. We have to find those people and ask these questions because there are people that definitely don't believe in crying.
Yeah.
They feel that it's weak. They don't
it's windows for your soul.
Yeah, it's therapeutic. It has its time and moment. It's not for every circumstance. There's people that are overly emotional, and I've been there. Sometimes I get that way. That's true.
Yeah.
But it's healthy, folks.
It is.
Let it happen.
And there's others. So there's feeling the feelings is what it's all about. Whether you cry it out, whether you punch it out, not somebody, but just I don't know, a pillow.
Identify it.
Yeah, like literally sitting with, okay, why am I feeling this way?
Mm-hmm.
What thoughts or what things am I holding on to? Because I feel like if we give the example of somebody losing somebody and they're thinking about all the bad moments. Or even all the good moments, and the thoughts just go rampant. So now you're thinking about that. Then you're holding on to the fact they're not with you to create more good moments,
right.
Or you don't have that person in your life to help you in that way. Yeah, now your thoughts are just streamlining.
Mm-hmm. Like, hey, this is the circumstance. These are the facts.
Yeah,
and this is where we are, and it might stink, but you know what? This is how we got here.
And just looking at like
very straightforward.
that's where it's at. Because just looking at like if because this is a sensitive topic, losing someone, but looking at okay, what did I learn from them? You know, how can their legacy live on through me, or what can I do to commemorate them? Like so, um, like recently when I was talking to guys, my aunt just passed away, and recently yesterday when I just found out yesterday, and when I was talking to my mom, I was spirit was letting me bring up a lot of things, which just a coinky dinks. They just were talking about everything that I had brought up, but I was just trying to let her realize how her last days were full of love and joy, because she was like, yeah, it happened out of nowhere, and she was so good. And I was like, and she was upset that she wasn't able to see her physically. She was like, yeah, I kept on trying to get her over to the house. She wouldn't come. And I was like, well, Mom, you just said you talked to her. That meant the world to her that you had that conversation. So kind of looking at, okay, what are these things? I mean, it's a sticky, because it could be so many different scenarios. But that's just an example of how you can kind of look at grief. Like, okay, these beautiful things, these grateful things, these have happened. So I'm going to spend my energy just loving on that instead of loving on the things that I did not do or we did not accomplish, and beat myself over that and then feel bad about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it's easier said than done, man.
Always.
Yeah, it is.
Always. That's why you hire people like us, life coach and art therapist.
Yeah, so wait, listen. So what you have some events coming up. You briefly mentioned some plant medicine. I've seen that.
Yeah.
That's a new thing.
It is.
So let's talk about it.
All right, let's talk about it.
Yeah, why not? Let's talk about it.
So on Sunday there is an event called A Trip Inside Out of Community, but with emphasis on unity. The whole presence of the event is to align your mind, body, and soul and spirit, get them aligned, align your chakras, heal, and bring you to a higher consciousness and unify everybody, because it's still ceremony.
So we're talking about plant medicine.
Right.
And when you say plant medicine,
so
you mean
shrooms.
Shroomy doomies.
Shroomy doomies.
All right, so explain that.
Did you get that from me? Because I call them shroomy doomies.
No.
It
just popped in my head.
I literally made it. I was like, yeah, shroomy doomies.
Maybe you sent it to me. I just picked it up. But so let's talk about that. I mean, that's one of those things that folks are interested in. It's always been one of the mystical
right. It's
things,
a psychedelic, yeah. So I feel like
it's been questionable to some people whether it's safe.
Right. I feel like any plant medicine, anything you try, even when you eat food, there's good things, there's good food that's going to help you be the best person you could be, then there's that faulty shit, right? And I feel like a lot of
there's vegan and then there's McDonald's.
Right. So people have these ignorances, or they have these things where it does happen in life where people take the wrong shit, wrong psychedelics or wrong shrooms, or and then they have bad experices.
Is it? Can you overdose on these? Is it?
So let me. So okay. So first of all, I am actually a part of the event in the way that we have a plant medicine collective that is a pro at that, like telling you all about. They're going to educate you on shrooms. They're going to educate you.
Where is their credentials? Like, what credentials do they have?
So they I feel like Plant Medicine Collective literally has a certificate in medical, I forget the word, but it's like it's marijuana, but it's also other things too. And they know,
like stuff that you would get at the dispensary.
Yes. And also ceremonies too. So they know how to, they've educated themselves on just how to properly disperse the shrooms and make sure it's, if you are 180 pounds, you get
Mhm.
5 pence of this, or
Mhm.
milligram. I don't know the terminology, but she is the one who knows
Yeah, she
all of those type
rations
of
it out.
questions. Me, this is what I know,
give
because
it
of
to
course I'm
your-
not going to sign up for something that I didn't feel like I could live in and out. I was very much like, I've only weed and shrooms are the only things I've tried.
Mhm.
And shrooms, my experience with them was very, very positive the first time I took them. I
Mhm.
took a little bit, and for me, I was like, I like kind of when I say I smoke weed, I become my higher self, or more connected to source.
Mhm.
So when I took the shrooms, I was like crying, but crying about things that I needed to cry about, but also crying in a happy way too.
Mhm.
Very grateful. It made me very happy.
Mhm.
Also getting more, I feel like, in touch. I told um somebody, I was like, yeah, I feel like I was dancing with my ancestors, which might reach
Mhm.
over people's head, but that was literally a thing I was doing on my first time I took shrooms.
Mhm.
And a lot of things were clear to me. I learned stuff about my past. I learned stuff about my parents who passed away, all from taking the shroom. And shrooms are mushrooms. And they're from what I know about them. There's all different types of mushrooms that do all different type of vitamin things, and shrooms are a mushroom that you take. I don't know, you it tells you on the email, but I know it helps you to heal. It helps you to come into contact with your subconscious thoughts, your higher consciousness, and feel the things that you might not already feel that need to come up.
So it's a way to liberate yourself to feel the suppressed bullshit.
Yes, and also to get higher, more connected to source. You'll be more
Yeah,
grounded,
okay.
stuff like that.
I've actually seen there's this documentary show. I don't know the whole name of it, something cornucopia, and this guy goes and does these little episodes with like these people who specialize in these particular
Mm-hmm.
drugs.
Okay. Yes.
And one of them was peyote, and it's kind of the way he explained it, and you saw the process, but these people were like, they wigged out, like they wigged out, but they all had a positive experience, but it
Okay.
was just like,
Yeah.
like it was
Zombies.
crazy to watch.
Yeah.
But then they snapped back into it, and
Yeah.
like you said, they just had that moment
Yeah.
with themselves,
Yeah.
and then they came back
It's a
to
whole
like,
weight lifted off
"Woo!"
your shoulders. It's a whole blockage that you were feeling. You were like, I don't know what this is, and I'm always feeling it. And now your heart is open. Now you're relieved. Now you're like freer. Now you're just better than you were before energetically, honestly. And that's
I want to
what
get
tends to happen.
reviews from everybody when they're done. This
Oh,
thing.
for sure. Well, yeah.
I want
and then it's
how
a
was your
ceremony.
experience?
Yeah, then it's a ceremony. So we're doing I was just showing a video when I walked into an actual ceremony. Like, I've definitely been, doing research on it, the psychological part, past lives part, and stuff like that. But actually, to walk into, like, I literally manifested it. I was like, I want to really experience the things I teach about. And then I walked into an Aztec ceremony,
Yeah.
where they were literally, they did a sweat lodge. I didn't do that. But like, where you really saw like how much ceremonies are such, like, I feel like, me, I feel like the community should be more ceremonial, right? Because they were honoring the sun, they were honoring their land, they were dancing together, they were commemorating each other, they were passing off the baton, they were honoring the nature, and then praying together, just certain things that just ceremonies do. So we're doing, like, I cracked up, I was like, we're doing the Philly style one, modernized.
Did you guys say you're healing the hood? Like, yeah, but it's real. Like, the hood needs healing, folks. We talk about this all the time, and it's so serious. Like, we are in such a state of emergency when it comes to emotional wellness at this point. And it's nice that your collective is taking an interest, and I mean, of course, that's what you guys do, but also to maybe this might open it up to people that want to be experimental, but in a different way.
Yeah.
Because they might come for one reason, but then have the whole healing experience that they might have not been receptive to that part.
Right. And the whole point is, like, so honestly, out of all the events I do, besides the open mics, Puffin Hills and anything that includes that is always a seller. Like it goes out like that. But I feel like, definitely like you said, like I was telling, we're trying to help these victims get with this program that helps victims of people who are incarcerated. And what I told them yesterday was, I was like, yeah, we're not, because they were like, yeah, we need a yoga specialist to come in. I was like, yeah, yoga's good, but let's teach them everyday things they can do without doing the whole yoga. No, let's teach them everything.
There's
every
some
day
yoga poses you can certainly do at
yeah,
home.
for sure.
But yeah, there's
everyday
alternate
practices that you can do for your mental mindset, for everything, for your energetic mindset, for all of that, and different ways than you're used to doing them. And that's what we're all about, is teaching expression, is teaching them meditation, movement meditation, not just but also all different. You can meditate while you're eating. It's so many ways you can fit in your everyday life to heal yourself and better yourself.
Shower meditation,
all of that, and everything with intention. That's one of the biggest things that's helped me through everything. So before I'm drinking my water, this water will cleanse my body. Sounding a little crazy talking to
putting
the
your
water,
intentions in the water.
but yeah, and just teaching the community, especially our community, different ways to heal yourself, to heal the past trauma, to just become a better, happier, joyful, peaceful self through.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's much needed. It's much needed. So kudos to you and your group.
We're trying.
Yeah, absolutely. So is it a guided meditation? They give you these plant medicines, and is it a guided meditation situation?
So we like I said, it's a ceremony, so we're including sound healing, meditation. We're doing interactive intention setting, so that's going to be fun. You have to come to see what that's all about. Of course, journaling. There's a transmutation workshop, so you're going to learn how you can literally have a horrible day and transmute within 5-10 minutes. And
folks need that.
Yeah, so just you're literally walking out transformed and with so much knowledge, but you're not doing it in a school setting where you have to sit and be lectured. It's literally interactive, it's fun, and it's all your choice. If you don't feel like dancing around, we're doing a nature dance. We're gonna have a fire.
Right.
If you don't feel like doing anything, we have a safe space.
Actually,
we have a space over to the side where the altar would be set up and certain things. So yeah. It's for everybody. Actually, we only have like a couple of tickets left, so we have other things going on also.
But if you are interested, there are a couple tickets left. So how can they get them?
Just a DM at Expressive Illustrations on Instagram or Facebook.
And what is the cost for that event?
33. Yeah.
How did I guess?
33. Yeah, because we're into the synchronicity number.
Yeah, how did I guess? 33.
Yes, but and that includes shrooms. So you're getting a bang for your buck.
Medication and your entry.
Yeah.
To this interesting event that you might want to check out. And what day is it?
It's on Sunday at 7 p.m. It is outside. DM for more. We'll send you emails. We got you all good. You fill out a little form, information.
The whole newsletter.
All of that.
What else you got going on, Mark?
So we have pushing peace, which I am co-hosting and leading sound healing in, but it's a event trying to save the streets.
Of course.
By day 1, not day 2. Day 1, not day 2. Check out his page. He used to be in the system, and now he's out teaching care, not control. He would be great to have on the show, by the way. Oh yeah, I'll try anyway.
Day 1, day 2. We're gonna see you soon.
Yeah. But he's literally trying to change the system, change the criminal justice system, change, especially for the kids, making sure they're not being put into, giving them the help they need.
Yeah.
So that is chakra aligned workshops. There's a panel, there's just amazing performers. That's happening next Friday. Like I said, everything that's on my page too, but day 1, not day 2. And then I have a 2 other things. So one of them is mastering masterpieces. Woo woo. There's a vegan kava cafe, and we're doing it there. And we've been doing open mics there.
Where's that at?
On South Street, 704 South Street, or 704 South 4th Street. is where it's at.
Street.
Yes.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's right near South Street, 4th and South.
Okay.
And yeah, and it's basically mastering masterpieces. Is you're gonna do arts and crafts, and inner child fun games, still meditation, sound healing. You'll probably see that at all our events, and just having just being creative, having fun, healing yourself, but also meeting new people and just having fun.
When is that one?
It's a Finanza
A
experience.
Finanza. Look at all these cool ass words. It's
October
a
20th.
Finanza.
That's October 20th at 7 p.m. also.
So we have this Sunday.
Right.
We have Friday.
Next Friday, and then October 20th, which is a Thursday.
All
I think
right.
it might be second to last.
And I did put those things up on my stories as well. So if you guys are looking for them,
Yay.
go ahead and check them out on Instagram at the RPX in my stories. And of course, make sure you check out Mara at Expressive Illustration. I'm glad to see that you got some stuff. I know you took a break for a minute.
I did.
So that's good.
Yeah, and I might take a break again.
That's
but-
okay. I'm about ready for break myself.
Right.
It's the end of the year, you
Yeah.
know, and I always take my little
yeah.
break for a couple months, and I got
We-
other stuff to do.
We are
baby.
coming out with Coping
Mhm.
Creatively, which is a group wellness session, because I've been trying to work on that. It's
Mm-hmm.
I wanted it to be donation based, but it's looking like it's going to be like a membership type of thing where you kind of pay $30 and you come whenever you want to. But yeah, I'm excited about that. That'll be happening in South Philly at Philly Nail Company, my Philly Nail Company
Oh,
in
yeah,
November.
I like
Yeah.
her.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what's up. She's a great supporter of yours.
Yes, I love
Absolutely.
her.
Absolutely. That's what's up. Yo, Mar, it's good. Like I said, we're gonna catch up. You know, what else we want to do? What else we want to talk about?
So yeah, I feel like it's so much.
I know I haven't seen you forever.
I know. So yeah, so I don't know. I've been healing myself. It's been a lot of retrogrades, so I've been dealing with a lot of, like, at one point my mom, I think I might have told you about that one, where I was like, not my biological, but my mom, who abused me when I was younger. Like, I end up kept on crashing into
family members.
Yeah, it was like a
Right.
retrograde. So
How did that turn out?
So what happened was I end up starting to write a letter to her,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of like noticing how it was still affecting me in
Right.
this lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't finish the letter. I will in time, but
Yeah.
I feel like it made me realize certain things so that I can just do better with
you
my
can address
relationships.
them,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I didn't know, like, not receiving love from her or her leaving me still
Yes.
made me do this in a relationship, or made me not trust people now, or whatever it was
Yeah.
doing. So I feel like it was just one of those things where
You had to unpack the box from
Yeah.
the shelf.
yeah. So
Mhm.
that happened, and I told you I was learning detachment. I went through this, like, jealousy phase or something.
What were you jealous
Yo,
of?
okay, let me talk about it.
What were you jealous of? Yeah, go ahead. Here, let me sip my tea.
First of all, I've been doing all this work, trying to get people to heal themselves and stuff, and try to get them come on to art therapy for
Mhm.
people showing up and stuff. And then next thing you know, we went through this wave where it's just a new wave, and now people that don't know nothing about nothing is
They're just climbing in the
just
lining
doing
up
it.
at the door.
Which is probably how people felt about me when I came out of nowhere.
Oh, okay. Now I get what you're saying. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then coming in and doing
start somewhere,
stuff,
right?
and then they're having, like, because it was a wave, like I said, or it's a good wave to have, but now everybody's like coming out, and it was also the time when I was ready to take a break and stop or whatever, and it was like frustrating me, like, I don't know, and I felt jealous, but I felt jealousy comes from
These people are gonna take my sunshine.
Yes. So I started. So because jealousy, guys, has nothing to do with others. It
It's
has
a
everything to do with
self thing
yourself.
and your
So once
ego.
I learned, so I read that I'm a Bible person. So I don't really believe in religion in a lot of ways, but I like to take certain stuff from the Bible. It's very inspirational.
Like unicorns.
what is, like, unicorns?
They're in the Bible. Look 'em up.
I don't know.
Mhm.
Okay.
Now she knows. Continue.
Yeah. So what I took from jealousy was, like, you can't get mad at somebody else. Like, they go through their path just like you went through your path, and nobody knows what you went through to get there, and your time is your time. And don't be worried about anybody else. Just be worried about yourself and making sure you're doing the best for yourself, and you're just
Yeah.
doing what the source wants you to do, because
your
time
journey
is
your
journey. Yeah,
right.
who
we
has time to be concerned about some other people's thoughts, other people's things that they're doing? Like, that has nothing to do with you, boo boo. So I had to reflect and look at myself and say, well, you're right. And that's also what helped me with detachment, because now I don't care about anything else. Like, it would be times where I would be mad because my friends hung out and I wasn't invited. Like, and it's like, damn, like, what is going on, you know? So it really was, I was working on stuff like little petty stuff, but stuff like that on myself, because you know me, like, I feel like I'm a preacher, but I'm also a doer. Like, I cannot sit here and teach the world how to be this amazing person without me practicing those things myself. I can't be like, oh, never be jealous, and then I'm over here just you know, like, even though everybody, a lot of people do that. Yeah, so I try to, whenever I notice I'm slacking in something or something is going on, I try to work on it myself, and then try to teach others.
It's important. It's important to be accountable to yourself.
Yeah,
I'm always trying to practice that as well, and it doesn't. Sometimes you don't get it right the first time, and that's okay. Just keep trying.
Yeah.
Just
for sure.
Just keep trying, because listen, we've been operating in this system within ourselves for our whole existence. We've been programmed.
Yeah.
We've been made to think that these thoughts and feelings and reactions and emotions are appropriate, and maybe they're not.
Right.
And so, you just take that moment, whatever it is that for me, I always was quick to react. And I work on that. And I still work on that. Yeah. I've gotten a lot better since when I was a young person. But on the same note, that's something you still have to be conscious of.
Right.
Because that shit can come back. Like, somebody trigger you,
yeah,
and it can come back.
As you were talking, that's what I was thinking about. I was like, yo, like, one of the things I had to realize, well, one time my two friends were sitting down, we were all getting ice cream, and they was like, Mar, I don't know what's going on, but you always being defensive. Like, nobody's talking about you or trying to hurt you or come at you. And I was like, and that was like a moment for me where I was like, dang, I got to
analyze this one, right? Yeah.
I'm being defensive? Oh, yeah, I do be thinking you saying this when you're not really saying it. But that's because past things I was dealing with, past things I was holding on to. Actually, so this is tea, but you probably already know, but you probably don't. So me.
Everyone's about to know now. All right, let's go.
So me and my ex are working on each other. And we are in counseling, right? And the first counseling session we had, and I swear it has changed my life, learning that, right? Because that's a whole different story. He's changed so much. He's grown so much. It's beautiful. Great. I had to let go of the past. Like, literally, I was just like, well, he did this and he did this, and not even some of the stuff had nothing to do with him. It was just other relationships I was doing. So I'm always reacting off of that. Always, oh, well, this, and how am I going to trust, and and not ever letting that go. But once I realized I have to just stay, this was two things the counselor said: stay in the present. Had positive thoughts, don't think about what could go wrong. But also, if it does go wrong, it does go opposite of what you think, kind of don't have expectations, was really what she said. But even if it does, so what?
Yeah.
It does. Okay.
Yeah.
He did it again. Now, okay, well.
Yeah, now move accordingly, right?
That's it. That's all. You can't sit there and just.
What if? If I take that chance and it doesn't work out the way I wanted,
right, I'm
going to have to take another chance. That's it.
That's it.
My pop says that. I swear to goodness, and I've told everybody this, like, that was one of the, it's so simple and it seems stupid, but it really, like, once I started living by it, it really is like a game changer, because I used to have so much overthinking and analyzing and anxiety about making decisions.
Yes.
And for me, it was, I would call and I'd be like, oh my God, like, can I talk to you for a minute? Because I don't really know. And he'd be like, listen. Finally got to a point where he's like, listen, make a choice. And then if it doesn't work out, make another one.
Yeah.
And
Look
I'm
at
like,
that.
oh my God. But, you don't want to, when you've been through things,
Yeah.
you don't want to repeat
You
certain
don't.
things. So it's like you're extra cautious, you're apprehensive.
Mm-hmm.
There's anxiety behind some of these decisions. And, it takes a little bit more strength and courage to pursue something sometimes.
But that's why you have to so that's what we're all about is teaching you to trust yourself.
Mm-hmm.
To trust yourself, to go my favorite line, I be going by spirit. It's spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So what I mean by it, a lot of people are like, well, what do you mean? For me, spirit, it might be different for other, but me is source and God. And I know when I'm not going by spirit, when I feel uneasy, when I start to literally my body will get a headache.
Yeah.
Or I'll get feel exhausted out of nowhere, or my eyebrows would do this, or my I would get more tense. So I had to realize I had to be aware of myself, and
you got to learn your little things, telltales,
because you'll know, because first of all, not that there's no such thing as the right choice, but I don't know. I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say every choice is the right. No, not every choice.
Yeah,
right
not
choice.
every choice is the right choice. Don't do crack, folks.
Right.
Plant medicine, not
God.
crack. But carry on.
A lot of times when you're going by spirit and you're making these choices, example, I have a really great reputation with Expressive Illustrations, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my partner,
folks seem to like you. You're all right.
my partner, she's new to the team,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I kind of did a just spirit-led thing, yeah, you're on the team, which I love. It's perfect. But we had went to an event, and she was the one who told me about the event. She told me to come do the healing circle, right? And the me that follows spirit was like, okay, I need to do the healing circle at 4:00. I'm trying to ask her. All long story short, I was asking her, waiting on her. It came down to at the end of the event, it was only 15 minutes, and I had to hurry up and do something I had planned to do 30 minutes worth of.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know me,
that's a lot of stress.
And healing circles.
You probably went in the corner and said, "Woosah, spirit, leave me for the next 15 minutes because my plan was 30 and I need to condense. Thank you." And then you carried on.
Because guys, healing circles, people are needed, so you can't cut them down to 2 seconds of talking when they're answering the question. It's very hard to try to maneuver that time. 30 minutes isn't even enough, but I do it. But anyway, so spirit was telling me to do what I wanted to do. I didn't do what I wanted. I couldn't do what I wanted to do, what spirit told me to do. I instead made a mistake and listened to my partner, right? So I would think it's a mistake in my head, right? And it really beat me up. I was really upset afterwards. I let her know. I was like, I'm not feeling it. So I go upset. I'm holding, not a grudge, but I'm letting her know, this was drawing, and I ain't like that, and that can't happen again. So then I bring it up again when my whole team is together, and the whole team is looking at me because one of the teammates was in the circle that I did for 15 minutes, and he's like, Mar, no. No. Your 15 minutes was perfectly aligned. It literally helped. This 15 minutes that you feel was so horrible and it could have been better and you didn't follow spirit and was literally aligned because you needed that 15 minutes. Then they did sound healing, which expels a lot of demon. It does a lot of stuff. Helps you to heal on a different level, but the part that I opened them up to be able to receive that, even in that 15 minutes, and it was great, and all this other stuff he had to say about it. So he was like, yeah, your expectations, and you feel like you didn't follow spirit, but basically what I'm saying is, even if it's the choice that you feel was not the right choice, it might, in the greater scheme of things, be what's supposed to be happening.
But haven't you learned that before, Mar?
Oh, girl.
You've had so many events and you always say, oh my God, it didn't go this way, but it went perfect. That's not how I planned it, but it went perfect. It went just how it was supposed to go.
But just like you said, we work on stuff, but it's a
sometimes
constant
we
thing.
Revert back to it.
It's a constant thing. And I feel like it was done in a different way because that was my partner that
You weren't leading it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's all
I feel like when I've heard these situations, when you lead the situation, you can take responsibility for
Right.
it not going that way and saying it went perfect.
right, and
Now,
that's
when
what
so-
hurt
right.
me. Yeah,
That was the
Yeah.
difference
oh, no,
in
and it
this
was you?
circumstance.
yeah.
She said, "Oh man, that didn't go, but it did go."
yeah, it did go.
Yeah, but listen, right? The thing from that is when you're not in lead, people are in lead for a reason, right? They've been
Mhm.
chosen to be the
Mhm.
lead for whatever purpose.
Mhm.
That person was in the lead for that moment.
I had a tarot card that was like, and I pulled it like twice already, and they were like, "You think you're the only one who could do this? You have such a big head." Like it was like one of those. I was like, "All right, I get it."
So my oracle card told me all.
Together we can. To get there we will. Got it.
That's a good reminder, though.
Yeah.
That's a good reminder for teamwork because if you're trying to run a team, sometimes you need to relinquish control.
Yes,
I'm working.
Sit your ass down.
Yeah, I'm working through that process myself right now, and it's okay. I'm okay with it because there's things that I can do easier because that's my wheelhouse, and there's things other people can do easier because that's their wheelhouse, or maybe our time is spent differently, so it's better for different obligations to be handled differently at this point. And I'm just like, yeah, cool, whatever, let's whatever gets the job done because we are working on this together and we got a common goal, and for
as
Christ's
long as
sakes,
the
I just
goal
want
is
to get
getting
there.
accomplished, right?
Yeah, I just want to get there. I want to meet.
Detachment.
Yeah, I want to meet and exceed what we're trying to accomplish here, and that's
Trusting
really
the process.
just it. Yeah,
Not controlling the process.
Yeah.
Trusting it.
Yeah, I used to be I gotta do it myself
Yeah.
person with everything, and there's some things I'm just like, hey, whatever, you want to do it, yeah, cool,
Yeah,
cool, whatever, we'll
yeah.
see how this goes, or let's just divvy it up and see what makes sense. So
One of the other things I wanted to talk about was the power of rest, right? Because
okay, we have 5 minutes.
Oh, well, the power of rest.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, the power of rest. Rest is very good.
Oh my God, it's so important.
It's so important.
We run ourselves into the ground a lot because we're trying to accomplish too much.
Yeah.
Even if we need balance is what it really comes down to. Being balanced in life really brings you much prosperity in all different regions of your life. And when you understand, like me personally, I used to stay up late, and a lot of it was my mind that was keeping me awake. It wasn't that I was being necessarily productive. It was just because I was there. And now when I'm tired, I go to sleep. I turn the light off, I turn the TV off, and I pull the blanket up, and it's over. And I used to wonder, how the frig do people do that?
Right.
How do they do that? I lay there and I toss and I turn, and I'm an hour in and I'm still staring at the wall. What the fuck is happening? But when you really have that sense of peace, you're just like, I'm tired, good night.
Right. And I like it because I one of the things that I learned that was new or that I didn't really know growing up or whatever, because my partner always liked to say, "You always sleeping." And I look at him and I say, well, I work with a lot of energies and a lot of people. That's why I'm always sleeping.
That's true, though.
I deal with so much energetically that my ass needs to sleep some days.
It's necessary. when you're divinely guided, like it takes a lot of energy.
It does.
People that, like, I was even talking to somebody in here this past week, and they are very creative and have a gift.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, man, when I'm writing, sometimes when I'm done writing, I gotta sleep for 2 days.
Yeah.
Because it's exhausting. I said, that's because you're channeling that gift.
Yeah.
So it is exhausting. Sometimes dealing with other people's energies is exhausting. Regulating yourself out in public is exhausting because there's so many things going on. But balance is important. Definitely getting your rest is super important. Super important.
Yeah. And working on yourself, loving on yourself. That's it. That's all.
Yes, absolutely. It's been good to see you, Mom.
This was beautiful.
Yeah.
Now me still getting nervous. Like, it doesn't matter how many times it's like, we haven't talked in a while.
Crazy. So crazy. Yeah. Make sure you follow Mar at Expressive Illustrations on Instagram. And like I said, she does have events coming up. Some of them are posted on my stories currently. If not, you can go ahead and check out her Instagram page again at Expressive Illustrations. yeah, much success. It's good to see you. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
All
Thanks
the
for having me
Yeah,
back.
absolutely. It's been interesting. I told we did some things different this time. It's been
Yeah.
interesting. But here we are, in
Yep.
October, and yeah, it's just going to be a surprise from here on out.
Yes.
So that's all I can say about that,
Who we
baby.
got up next?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
It's gonna be a surprise.
Yeah, like I said, it's gonna be
Okay.
a surprise. I had everybody lined up until now, and yeah, I got some people that I want to reach out to that actually, because things have been different.
Yeah.
I haven't had a regular chance to have certain people on.
Mhm.
So, I'm gonna reach out to those folks. I know that they're
timing.
interested. Yeah, absolutely. It will be a nice way to close out the end of this 6th season here at Glockaware. And if you guys are interested in any other episodes, you can definitely check them out on YouTube. You can go to YouTube, type in Glockaware, and look at all the Glockaware has over 23 shows at this point, live shows each week. So there's something for everybody, and definitely a lot of seasons of the X Radio. So you can go ahead and type in, Glockaware, hit the X Radio, and check out all the old episodes. But yeah, until next week, man, everybody stay calm and peaceful and filled with warm fuzzies and shit.
Thank you.